Hello people, what is going on? Mr. Challenger EX coming all the way to you from PC land once again. You guys saw the name of the video, you guys saw the thumbnail. We are going to be checking out the fan favorite, the one and only Osamodas. Of course, if you guys follow my Dofus Touch gameplay videos, I have an Osamodas there, which, are based on characters that I had back when I used to play PC back in the day. And one of the things I want to do is make these PC characters based on those Touch characters. So here's my Osa. It looks very similar to the one I have on Touch. Though, let me tell you, the Osamodas on PC is very intricate and plays nothing like it does on Touch. Which I'm very surprised, because I tried to do a little bit of research and there's very little in terms of like this Osa and talking about like the gameplay mechanics. I didn't find a whole lot of it. I found like one video from like 3 years ago. I don't know if it's still relevant or not, but hopefully we learn something together here. But enough talk. Let's just go. Let's just jump in there. Yeah. So of course, Osamodas. I, like many people, I saw that red dragon and I was like, I gotta make an Osamodas. The Osa was the third character I added to my team. Obviously, the first one was the Saram. And then I added the Inner Trough because I saw the chest, and of course I wanted those drops. It was like having 3 characters pretty much in terms of drops. And then I went Osamodas. I went Intelligence. Actually, you know what? Let me check what this character has. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Inventory. Do I really have a full Suffolk? I have no clue I have a full Suffolk set. It's actually kind of surprising, really. Because, like I said, these characters are old. These characters are like, I don't know, 15 years old, somewhere up there. The fact that I was able to get a Suffolk set on this character, I'm kind of amazed myself. That is crazy. What else do I have here? I got nothing too crazy. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I saw that dragon, and of course I went Intelligence with my Osamodas, and this was before I added the Annie, which is also Intelligence. So I won't be doing Intelligence, even though, we'll be checking out all the spells here. I might just stick with Agility, just like you do on Touch. But we'll see. We'll see. So Osamodas. Where do I even start? So something I do like, and something I did find, and something I do hope they add to Touch, which is super helpful here. If I go to Spells, there's this little button here called Class Mechanics. It gives you a nice rundown of like what the class wants to do and what it does. So let's talk about the families of some. Also, I'm not going to read this. I will just summarize it. So obviously, PC, you got the 4 elements. The Earth revolves around Gabals, the Gobs. Similar to Touch, Agility or Air, Tofus. Again, similar to Touch, Fire, got the Dragons. And not similar to Touch is Water. And we have Toads. And this is totally new to me, these Toad characters. So that's interesting. This whole thing with so many charges. So, you know what? I could show that off. So every time you use a elemental spell, you gain a charge. So you see the little thing on top of my head? This little arc monster, not arc monster symbol here. That's like my charge meter. So here, if I use Dragon's Breath, okay, it's gonna give me a charge, and it shows me I'm in the Dragon Fire charge mode. If I switch up the elements, it's not gonna add a charge, but it is gonna switch the mode I'm in. So right now I'm like in the Fire mode. If I use, what is this, Aquatic Wave? That dragon turned into what I assume it's the frog, right? So right now I have one charge. If I use, here, let's go back to fire. If I use another fire spell, it's going to add another charge. And again, another fire spell, another charge, right? Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If I go into 4 charges, and this is where it gets kind of wild, it's going to transform me into that elemental archetype creature, right? We saw this here with spells, right? So, and we'll take it. This might be a long video, I don't know. Obviously fire, it turned me into a wormling, or I'm just gonna call it dragon. All right, and when you get transformed into these alternate forms, you get a perk, and that perk is somewhere here. Is it here? This little button is so useful. Here we go. This is so dragon increases in final heals performed. Toad increases final damage inflicted. Tofu MP bonus, and I assume this is like a bonus for your whole team. Unless you know, when the summoner accumulates 4 summoning charges, they undergo a transformation based on the charges element and consumes the charges. Allies near the Osamodas or the summons no more than 2 cells earn the bonus. Okay, so it is an AoE thing. The transformation lasts 2 turns. The effect stacks from one transformation to the next. Once in each element, and can be unbewitched for no Osamodas. Okay, so this kind of gives me an idea too of what like each elemental branch wants to do. So Gabal, or the Earth build, seems like it's very defensive. I want to say it reduces damage suffered, and from looking at some of the spells, it looks like it likes to debuff the enemies. Tofu, agility, MP bonus. To me, that looks more like mobility. Fire, dragon, heals, kind of makes sense. Toad, very similar to touch. Toad, like the water elements, like the damage kind of elemental path. So fire damage inflicted. So that's what's going on here. So every time I use a spell, stuff's gonna be happening. What else is there? Summons. Let's talk about summons. So you do have your traditional kind of summon stat, which, how many do I have here? I don't know. I have 3. But not only do you need to have like, to keep in mind the summon stat here, you also have to keep in mind how many summon slots you have. How do I explain this so it's not confusing? So each time you summon, so each summon is dedicated to a slot. So if I summon here, right, that slot is taken up. So if I end my turn, we're not gonna pay attention to this yet. Does that? Can I summon another one here? Okay, we're learning. So, say I transform this. Okay, so now I got a Melanic Wormling in slot 3. Okay, so now I could take like slot 1 over here, right? And then we could turn them into another little dude, which didn't work. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Hey, is there a cooldown on summoning? Maybe? Okay, what if I click this? Okay, so that puts it over there. Why is it not giving me the other slots? I don't know. But this whole slot thing is kind of important because when you choose what spell you want, some of these have the alternate as a spell, right? So I'd imagine there's gonna be built where like, oh, you only want 2 slots, right? And then you gotta pick and choose. All right, which spell you want to slot over. From which of the 2 do you want the slot to take place? It's confusing. It's confusing, but I'm slowly getting the hang of it. So, but you know what? Let's talk about the spells here. So, Dragon's Breath. We saw this a little bit here. So this is kind of a cool spell. So you do fire damage, and I guess there's like a little bit of recoil, and it pushes you back, which is kind of cool. Flaming Crow is the classic. I guess it just attacks there. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Not enough range. I went off too far. So what happened? The range on this was... So I use this here. Okay, maybe we should read it. Inflicts fire damage on enemies or heals allies. The spell's damage, minimum range, and maximum range are increased after each casting for the current turn. But I can only cast it once, right? Okay, you know what? Let's reset here. So if I cast it here, it should heal, and then I could cast it here. Okay, so you definitely want to like hit multiple things with this thing to kind of maximize its potential. Kind of interesting. And then Sparkmelian. Inflicts fire damage on enemies or heals allies. Okay, kind of straightforward. This fire spell's nothing crazy. Okay, and then there's this dragon thing here. So, oh, maybe that's why I couldn't summon it. So right now I have 1 charge. If I give myself another charge. Oh, okay, I see. I can only summon 1. Okay, that makes sense. So I can only have 1 type of summon, 1 tier of summon out at a time. So this is another thing too. Depending on how many charges you have, you're going to summon the respective tier of that summon. So the Melodic Dragon is tier 1. So this is the little guy that comes out when you have 1 charge. When you have 2 charges, you get the albino one. And then when you have 3 charges, you get the classic dragon over here. So each elemental summoning species has this thing going on where you get like the little guy, the medium guy, and the big guy, and each one comes with its own set of spells. So let's take a look at this little small dragon. It's not that small, but tier 1. Tier 1, you get this little guy, Dragonfire X. That's a pretty cool spell name. What does it do? Just damage. And it's got... Oh, there's so much happening. So much happening. This is kind of overwhelming. Dragonfire X inflicts fire damage. Okay, pretty straightforward. Diagonal Fire. It's the diagonal version of it, I would imagine. And it heals, I think, oh, it's very similar to that any spell. And then Dragon Conflagration. Inflicts fire damage on enemies and heals allies. Oh, no, that's the wrong dragon. Inferno. Ooh, inflicts fire damage on enemies in an area of effect. Okay, so it's very offensive dragon. It's got a little bit of heals. Super cool. Let's take a look at tier 2. Which is going to be this white one here. Incandescent Dragonfire. These names are pretty epic. He also allies adjacent to the target. You know what? Can we do this? Yes. This is going to switch. It switches. It switches, of course. Heals allies adjacent to the target. Healing is lower on the summoner and does not affect the albino. Okay, so it looks like it's just like a powerful version. Okay. Dragonic Inversion. Heals a targeted ally and inflicts fire damage. Okay, so it's like the reverse. So you want to target... Okay. Pretty forward. Inflicts fire damage on enemy. Whoop. Inflicts fire damage on enemies and heals allies. Oh, okay. So the AoE is like a little bit different shape than the other guy. So they pretty much do the same thing. It's just a little bit. It's how they do it. And then of course we got the classic. We got the red dragon over here. Oop. Okay. Curative Dragonfire. Heals. Fire healing. What? Heals the targeted ally. Healing is slower on the summoner. So it's just a straight up heal spell, right? Okay. Heal. Drag Obstruction. Heals the targeted ally if the red wormling is in the control state. Also reduces the duration. Also, it bewitches. Oh, getting my dragons all mixed up. Nope. Okay. Heals the targeted ally. Okay, so this is like percentage heal and then -1 effect. Okay. And then Draconic Mark inflicts fire damage. Attackers receive healing for some of the damage they inflict on the target. Oh, this is on it. Okay. I had no idea this thing was gonna be like this. So we do this. This thing has a mark. Heals the attacker by 20% of the damage suffered. Can I attack myself? Yes, I can. Okay. Okay, so if I attack, I should get healed, right? And yes, I did. That was kind of hard to see. Is it just a one-time deal? No? Oh, there it is, 33. It's a little number there. So yeah, intelligence seems very supportive. Seems super cool. It's more of the traditional fire Osa, I would say. Okay, so how do I... Yeah, so I was talking about the summon slots. So if I had more than 3... How much summons do I have? 3? Yeah, so depending how summon heavy, I do have to make that decision here, right? Because some of these slots have like, okay, do I want to give up the first slot for favoritism, right? Or do I want to give up the fourth slot for protective balm? So you do have to make that choice. You don't automatically get to put out 6 summons like as a given. Like you gotta be conscious about this. So I think that's very interesting. It's very strategic in how you make your build. Super cool, super interesting. So that is, I think we saw the fire spells, right? Okay, so let's move. Let's look at this. Whip attracts the caster's Osamodas summon towards the center of the area effect. If the cell's occupied, teleports the Osamodas summon symmetrically. So it just kind of like nudges them around. Does it do any damage? Let me see. What? Nope. I guess it's just like a little moving tool. Okay, whip. Can I whip myself? I can whip you over there. Okay, so if I do this here, it's gonna flip them over. Yeah, it's a little nudging tool. All right, interesting. And okay. Animal tandem applies effects on the targeted ally and the caster based on the last summoning charge gain. Tofu increases MP and dodge. Gob applies a shield. Oh, interesting. Toad increases power. That's what we saw. The chance build was like it's like the damage kind of build, the power build. Dragon increases heals receive. So can I do that myself? Nope. Okay, so whoever I put that on gets like a little buff. Oh, it's got the numbers down below. Interesting, interesting. 1 MP, 10 dodge, 100% of level to the shield. I don't know how effective that is. 110 power. Ooh, that sounds nice. Heals. Okay, okay. I like the spell. Call to order. Kills an allied summon. And it looks like it gives you the charge back. And it gives you the AP. So okay, so let's do this. Let's transform. If we do call to order, it should give us 3 charges and whatever AP this guy costs. Yep. Okay, pretty straightforward. You know, I should probably call to charge all these guys here. Call to order, not call to charge. Just massacre the dragons. Okay, puncture. Guess the summoning charge based on the families. I guess that's the name I was looking for, not species. Family. Based on the family. Okay. So if I do a summon, let's throw this guy out. And if I use this here, it's going to give me a charge on that. Okay. Pretty straightforward. High energy shot. Oh, this is still here. Increases the vitality, the final damage inflicted, final heals performed, vitality, AP, MP of one of the caster's summons. The effects are transmitted when the Naformo transforms. Increases final damage inflicted by 40%. Healing, vitality, and it gives. Whoop. Okay, so let's use this on here. Okay, he turns big. He's charge. I assume he's got a little bit more of a punch to him. So he could go here, maybe do this twice. And man, this is a lot of damage coming out of just a summon over here. What was that? What did that do? You guys saw that, right? The little sparkle thing he had? Oh, is it just like a one-time thing? Yeah, one turn. Okay, so it was the high energy shot. Dissipating. Okay. And we got an Earth Spell, Crackler Punch. This was another reason why I made the Osa. It's just like having that huge AoE. I mean, back in the day, this was intelligence, and it is still an intelligence spell on Dofus Touch. I mean, it makes sense for it to be Earth. I mean, it's Crackler, but it looks like it's pretty much just Crackler Punch, but it moves. It moves the target to the center. So let's see here. Oh, straight to the center. It doesn't nudge him. Okay, so another little positioning tool there. Super cool. Animal Blessing. Gives 3 summoning charges in the current family of charges. If the caster is uncharged, gives 3 summon charges in the family. That was oh, okay. So this is more like a. It's like a little turbo thing. Or like right off the bat, you could like charge yourself to like level 3. Okay, we're gonna have to check that out. Here, let's. Okay, so let's go. Let's do a little 50 here. Can't use it in the first turn, but I can use it in the second turn. Nope. So I don't have. Oh, say let's do. You know what? Might as well look at Earth. So let's do that. So we got 1 Earth shot. And then we are going to summon Melanic. So Melanic, it seems like it's the first tier. Woolly Wallop. Oh man, these names are freaking awesome. Moves the Cabal closer to the target, inflicts earth damage on enemies. Man, that was a big old chomp right there. Melanic Bite. Inflicts earth damage. Use that twice. Super cool. Okay, Protective Fleece. 10% melee resistance. Yeah. So you could put that on there. Pretty cool. Pretty straightforward. Let me see. Let's get. Let's see here. Fossil. Inflicts earth damage and removes power from the enemies in area of effect. And it stacks, right? 150? No, it doesn't stack. And I guess so that gave us 2 charges. So let's do Albino. So tier 2. Let's see, what do you do? Albino Bite. Woolly Attraction. Attracts 5 cells. Look at that. Who needs a Sakuya when you got this little fluff ball over here? A little built-in attraction spell right there. Let's see, what else do you have? Albino Cabal Spit. Reduces the damage suffered by the caster and removes MP parry from enemies. So I can do that on myself here. Right? Let's read that again. Let's read that. Reduces the damage summoned by the caster. So do I do it on myself? By the caster. Okay, so he did get the minus 25 MP parry. So I would have to do it on my... Oh, wait, it says like splash damage? Is that what it is? If I go here and I spit him. There we go, now it's on me. Is it? It is not on me. Is it just on this guy here? Oh, okay. Okay, it only works on him. Okay, so now I could do... Alright, so let's do tier 3. I could do Animal Blessing. Oh, look at this little brown dude. Little chestnut. Oh, it's, it's actually called Chestnut. That was so funny. Because I would have just called him Chestnut. Chestnut Cabal. Alright, Heavy Fleece. Applies the gravity state to the caster. Only works every other turn on the same target. Oops. Applies the gravity state to the target. Man, this also could do all sorts of things. Alright. Grazing inflicts earth damage and removes dodge from enemies in an area of effect. I feel like no matter what, kind of like... That's a good... That animation was pretty exaggerated. I'm not gonna... It was pretty dramatic for a grazing cabal. Look at that. What is it, grazing on rocks? But yeah, I was saying, it feels like you're gonna need to use all this, or you have to learn how to use all this, like regardless of what build you go with. Woolly Focus, reduce the final damage inflicted by the target. Yes, ooh, that's cool. Yeah, so very defensive. It's like a debuffer. Tank, maybe, I would say, a little tankish. And we still have some fossil. We took a look at that. Woolly Sledgehammer. Inflicts earth damage and removes dodge. Oh, and we still got to look at the transformation on this. Okay, so yeah, she turned into a Cabal warrior of sorts. And what does this one do again? It reduces damage. Yeah, so very tanky. This is interesting. Very tanky Osa over here. As you guys know, we don't have Earth Osas on touch. We do have Gabals, but the Gabal family is attached to the Chants over there. So super cool. Actually, I enjoy... As of now, I'm more curious about the Earth build than the Fire build. Okay, let's call to order. Let's reset. You know, can we just... So dramatic. So dramatic. Oh, look at this bird. Dude, look at this guy. He looks so epic. Okay, let's jump back in there. All right. You know what? Let's do agility. Let's do agility. Repulsive Fang. 13 to 15 air damage. Pushback. Once. Oh, so is this like a pushback thing? Does it do pushback damage? That's what I want. Okay, so let's get the tofu. No, let's look at. It came out. All right, so melodic tofu right there. Let's see if this knocks back. Did it? I didn't see it. Yeah, it does do knockback. So it's agility, more positioning, and mobility. I don't know. We'll find out. Tier 1 tofu. Melodic peck. It removes lock. That sounds like very useful. Withdraw peck rune. Places a rune that teleports the melodic tofu onto it at the end of the turn. The teleportation can only happen if the room is not occupied. Oh, okay. Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind is, I don't know how fragile the tofus are. Ooh, 400 HP, what? What? So I would imagine, okay, so say my tofu's over here, right? Like, I would imagine I could do this here, and then I could keep my tofu safe. Oh, look at him run. And I could go here, and then he should pop back in there. So I guess that's a way to keep it safe. Yeah, and then he could go behind a corner, behind a wall or something. Super cool. All right. I'm digging what I'm seeing. Gambelet. Teleports the melodic tofu symmetrically in relation to the target and inflicts air damage on enemies. Okay, it just flips over. I'm gonna flip. I'll just do one per turn. Interesting. Alright, super cool. So we do have 2 charges. We'll check out tier 2. Albino. Air Ace. Gives the albino tofu 1 MP for each enemy in the area of effect and inflicts air damage on them. What's AoE? How big is this? Ooh, look at this thing. Wait, did it do damage? Oh no, no damage. Okay. Ooh, I was about to say, ooh, this is kind of OP. Yeah, it does 12 to 14 air damage. Ooh. That's like a air punch of that's like a crackler punch on a stick. That is cool. Okay, and then finally, Transpofu. All right, we got something similar on touch. Except it only works on allies. It's a lot of positioning, a lot of flippy dippy swapping going on. Might be a little bit biased, but I think, yeah, I've always played Agility Osa. Well, on touch. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I used to run it intelligence, but I think a lot of people sleep on Agility Osa on Dofus touch. Okay, how many charges we got? We got no charges. Not a problem. Animal Blessing. Look at me being a pro over here. Slot 4. Ooh, look at this big dude. We got Chungus. Golden Tofu. This guy better do some cool things. Look at him. Inflicts air damage on enemies in an area of effect. A lot of AoE happening. And places a rune. Casting the spell a second time on the same turn while on the room teleports entities and the area of effect symmetrically. Okay, so let's, you know what? Let's kind of push him in here. So if we do this twice. So once I made a rune. Okay, use it. You know what? Let's. There we go. I made a rune. Use it again. It should do a flippy thing. There we go. Oh, it's kind of like the cellar. Kind of weird cellar shenanigans going on. No telefrags. Puff Peck. Increases the golden tofu's MP. Repels a target and moves it towards it. Oh my guys, he's kind of stuck there. You know what? I should probably move his little buddies out of the way. So this is kind of like a rush spell? Is that? Poo-Poo Peck. Oh, repels the target, but moves it forward. Oh, no, oh, yeah. That went all the way over there. Oh, look at that. More like, yeah, a lot more like mobility stuff. You know, if you want to keep something away, move it around. So I'm sure if you high energy shot, you could do like multiple. Does it do knockback? Oh, once per turn. Looks like, yep, once per turn. And what's the other spell? These tofu repels the target and... Oh, we're reading the wrong one here. Okay, this tofu. Did it do anything? It looks very similar to the other spell. Repels the target and moves a golden... So these two... They do the same thing, right? Am I tripping? Am I? Alright, so you know what? We pros here. We go do a flippy dip. Flip them over. You know what? Since we're here, might as well high energy shot. Oh, that is not high energy shot. Okay, so that does that. Okay, they don't do the same thing, but they're very similar. Okay. And of course, the transformation. If we look at Duster. Inflicts air damage. Damage is increased for each of the caster's tofu present on the field. Alright, so like Duster, right? This is where, maybe an instance where you do want to have like 6 tofus. Or like definitely a nice handful. Increase Duster's base damage by 4. Obviously, I don't have an agility set on me right now. Oh, look at this thing. What is this? It's a little turkey lady. She looks cool, though. I might have to go with agility, guys. Agility is kind of cool. And it's yellow. It's kind of weird. She looks like she's kind of naked. But yeah, this looks like it's a thing where like, okay, I might want to prioritize like having these summoning slots over some of these spells. So that's something to consider. And we got Pet Compressor. Inflicts air damage on enemies in your area of effect and places a rune. Casting the spell a second time in the same turn while in the room teleports entities around. Teleports entities in the area of effect symmetrically in relation to the golden tofu. This is golden tofu. What? Wait, oh. Did it jump? Oh, I was reading the wrong one. Alright, I got mixed up. My fault. My fault. Like I said, there's so much going on. There. Whew. Then we go K9. Inflicts air damage and reduces lock. A lot of lock reduction. Gives the tofu shards. It looks like it's just straightforward. I like the animation. The animation is pretty cool. So she's gonna turn in the air. Guys, you know, you gotta be styling. I'm really digging the agility one. It is cool. A lot of. So this is gonna help synergize with my Saram, I would think, especially with the double. And keeping enemies locked with it. Like, I'm already thinking of like, okay, you know what? It's not gonna be too bad. I'm the type of person, I don't look at metas or anything like, oh, what's the best build? Like, if I like something, I'm gonna roll with it. And, you know, I try to figure out ways how to make it work for me. But I usually just stick with stuff that I like. For example, I think we took a look at all the air stuff. I did take a look at the frog. And even though the chance build seems very, you know, it's like you're going to be seeing some big numbers. You're going to be buffing your team. That frog, man. That frog is ugly. So I'm that kind of player where it's like, if I don't like something visually, that's enough for it to like put me off of it. And here, since we're talking about the frog, you know what? Let's aquatic wave advances 3 cells and does damage. Yeah, so it's very in your face, right? And you know what? Let's get some. Which is a spell? Oh, this one. Look at this thing. What happened to my poor cute Osa? What it turned into a gremlin. It's not a frog. This thing's so ugly. Nah, man. Not like this. I can't be winning like this. But yeah. Yeah, so obviously it gave me, what is it? Increases final damage inflicted by 10. It seems kind of crazy, but yeah, this is enough for me to like, yeah, I don't want to do the water build. Okay, so aquatic wave, yeah, that kind of puts me in the fray. Geyser. Inflicts water damage on enemies and increases damage from summons suffered by the targeted enemy. Yep, more just push that damage number up. Which is, you know, it's very in line with how our chance Osa is on touch. Whirlwind inflicts water damage on enemies on one of the casters of Osamodas summons, teleports entities symmetrically in relation to the summons. Okay, you know what? Let's put out some water summons. Let's bring this guy in. Guy there. Oh, I forgot about this guy. This guy's all the way out there. Okay, so how do we call to order? All right, let's get you back. Have one charge. All right, so See right here, if I want to use, since the first slot's already taken, if I want to use that slot again, I have to get rid of this tofu. But if I use slot number 2, oh no, I'm in the wrong thing. Okay. Turn it into water. Yeah, so it still gives me the tofu, but slot 2 there, slot 4. Yeah, slot 4, it's open. So that's gonna give me a frog. Look, it looks kind of cool. He's like a little, he's got like wings. Atlantic frog. So what does this guy do? Damage. Ooh. It's just like ranged damage. The frog is cool. I dig the frog. It reminds me of a Pokemon. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these guys here. Call to order. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so slot 3. No. And then I gotta switch over to, yeah, see? You gotta get used to this. Select a shot. So not as big of a range, but it does have a little bit higher base damage. Yep. Slimy spray inflicts water damage on enemies in their area of effect. Okay, so I need to switch to water. Switch that. And then we could get slot number 2. And then I could puncture this guy. Okay, getting the hang of it, little frog. No, this is the white frog. Tier 2, toxic toad. Applies a start of turn water poison on it. Makes sense. Poison frog. Amphibian memory. Inflicts water damage. Oh, wrong one. Oh, there goes the poison. Look at the range on this thing. That is crazy. Oh no. It's not this stupid little water animation from the water surround. That was like the lamest animation ever. It's not so lame with the frog, but the surround, when the surround does it, it's kind of lame. Call to order. Let's get that back. Okay, we'll reset here. We'll reset. We're almost at the hour mark. All right, so not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so if I just throw one of these guys out, it gives me these little Noformo. And after, so I don't need a charge, and then I could just transform it. Interesting. And if we take a look at all the water spells, no, whirlwind. What is this do? That looks cool. That looks like some water bending stuff. Okay, so let's do slot 2. So slot 2. Yep. We didn't see this one. Instigator Toxitoad. Applies a start of turn water poison. Is this poison? And this is, oh. Poison. And poison. And I could go in here. Man, the Osa is definitely doing a lot of stuff. Something I do want to avoid too, especially since I'm gonna be like multi-counting, is just pressing, just doing a lot of actions. So there's a poison, of course it stacks. And then if I do whirlwind on this, okay, so the AoE is different. So if I do whirlwind on this, it's a cross, but here it's like a square. That's cool. That's super cool. We got 3 charges? No, not yet. There we go. And then we go slot number 4. Look at this guy. Green frog. Tier 3. Verdant toad. What do you do? Inflicts water damage on enemies and repels a target. So I could just... I just push things with it. Just burp on them. Does it do pushback damage? Oh, yes it does. Slobberhead. Inflicts water damage on enemies in area of effect. Alright, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Croaking. Attracts a target toward the center and inflicts water damage on enemies. Okay, so is this like Crackler? Oh, it's kind of like the Saram Trap. Okay, so if I do this, let's move here. Let's move here. I don't know how practical or useful this would be, but interesting nonetheless. Okay. You know what? I dig the frogs, but I'm still not too hot. All right, and then the symmetrical thing here. It just whirlwinds everything over here. That is interesting. And of course, there we go. It's a face only a mother could love. Or this is that meme. Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. I like the little frogs. The little frogs, I'm not too, yeah, this kind of kills the thing for me. It seems interesting. The chance, let me see what else. Did we take a look at everything? I think we did. All right, let's try to get out of here. Actually, can we exit? Does this kill us? Oh, okay, it doesn't. Sweet. We'll take a look at some of the stuff here. Do we have time? We're almost at the hour mark. I don't think so. Like, favoritism applies. Like, this is something interesting. Like, this is. Like, I would give up a slot for this, right? Applies to the favorite state on the caster summons. Reduce the damage suffered by the summons. At the start of each of the summon's turn, increase the summon's final damage inflicted. There can only be one summon in the favorite state. If the spell is cast. Okay, so this is very similar to what we have in Touch. So can I do favorite and then, you know what? And then I want to take a look at this too. Teleport the caster symmetrically in relation to the target and inflicts air damage. Okay, so so this kind of flips you over. A little flip spell. -3 MP. Like, this is something just to take out, just take MP away. Like, I feel like that could be useful. MP or power. These are two good ones. Cross scales. Though I do gotta say, all the fire spells, all the intelligence, they got pretty epic names. Heals allies and inflicts fire damage on enemies in an area of effect. Okay. Natural defense. Makes one of the caster summons invulnerable and increases its vitality. On another ally, increases its vitality. Oh, it's like the Yop spell, vitality. It's like a little... Yeah, see? You would have to give another slot. Even though you have 6 summons, like even though your gear, your equipment's set up to have 6 summons, you know, you may have only like 3 slots to play around with regardless, right? When it comes to also summons. Because also, of course, you have the special summons. Schaefer and the spider. Protective bomb. Applies the bomb state on the targeted ally. Applies a shield. This could be cool. Scalding poison. Natural defense. Oh, I think we saw. Did we saw? Is that natural defense? Natural defense makes one of the caster's summons invulnerable. Yeah, we saw that one. Takeoff. Switches places with the target. If it's an enemy, inflicts air damage on it. If it's one of the caster's summons, inflicts air damage. And AoE. Takeoff. You know what? We'll mess with that. Gamble. Okay, let's just jump in here really quick and then we'll wrap it up, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of overview, I guess. This is crazy. This was definitely crazy. So let's put out here. Let's do a spark melon. Let's do a not puncture. Nope. Let's do a animal blessing. Not what I wanted to do. Okay, so slot 2. Let's get this guy out. Can we do high energy shot? And then let's do a favoritism. Ooh, okay, he is big. Okay, so that was favorite. Okay, so he still gets big. Okay, so I'm using the wrong dragon for this. Let's see. Let's call to order. I don't want 3. How do I go down in charge? Because say I want to specifically summon. I guess I can't go back, right? Because I don't think so. At least not what was why I have. This spell's kind of cool. I do like how it kind of has like recoil. Oh, I can knock back damage. I don't think it's cool anymore. Okay, so I got 2 charges. Okay, so we got this guy out. Let's do... You know what? Let's just do a favoritism on him. Yeah, bigger again. Yeah, bigger again. He keeps getting bigger. You got... Well, this guy just keeps... What the heck's going on? 6? Okay, so it just goes up to 6 levels. So I'm sure this guy's... Can I... Alright, so let's... High energy shot. Where are you? Let's make him even bigger. Why not? Alright, folks. That was interesting. There's a lot to take in, for sure. I had fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a little bit overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. This makes our Osa Untouched look so simple and vanilla. But it was interesting nonetheless. I think I'm gonna keep her. I mean, she's yellow. She's got this whole yellow thing going on. I think I'm gonna go with the Dofus. See how that works out. Obviously, I will have to get her out of this OP soft oak set, but that's all right. We could get her agility gear. But yeah, that was so cool. That was so interesting. That was so interesting. All right, folks. If you enjoyed the video, if you stayed here till the end, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna get out of here. This has been Challenger EX. Until next time, take care of yourself and peace. Do I have any emojis on there? Not really. Should point.